this video, I will demonstrate the various types of loans that AmortPro can amortize and explain the customization options that are available. Launch AmortPro by double-clicking on the AmortPro icon on your desktop. I will create a new profile for these examples and create a new scenario for each loan type. The first type of loan is a new mortgage loan. This could represent a new mortgage or a refinance, but it is a mortgage loan that hasn't closed yet and whose first payment is still in the future. Create a new scenario. And add a loan to this scenario. Select the loan type as New Mortgage. Provide a description. Fill in the initial balance. I will use $120,000. An interest rate of 3.5% and a term of 360 months. I project the first payment to be in August. The optional parameters can all be left zeros, but they do provide powerful customization. The closing cost represents out-of-pocket money that the buyer brings to the table in order to close the loan. If they are rolling the closing costs into the balance of the loan, or if the sellers are paying the closing costs, leave this value as zero. I will use $2,000 to demonstrate how this is incorporated into the calculation. The current appraisal is the current value of the home for a refinance or the purchase price for a new mortgage. AmortPro uses this value to calculate how long to apply required mortgage insurance. I will use a value of $125,000. The mortgage insurance field is the monthly mortgage insurance amount. I will use $80. AmortPro will apply monthly mortgage insurance until the loan balance is less than 80% of the original purchase amount. Monthly escrow is additional money the borrower pays each month, usually for taxes and property insurance. I will leave this blank for this example. I will demonstrate the interest-only option in a moment. You can see the summary below, the loan balance and remaining interest. The remaining other figure includes the closing costs and month mortgage insurance. Since we provide a value for the closing costs, it includes that payment in an extra month at the beginning of the amortization table. Select the Amortization tab to see the amortization table. You can see that next month the loan will close and the borrower will pay $2,000, after which the scheduled monthly payments will begin. A report of this amortization can be saved to file for printing, recording, or emailing to a client. Press the printer icon to generate this report. The columns of the table can be graphed for a visual representation of the information. For example, the payment column shows how the payment will be reduced once the mortgage insurance is no longer applicable. Columns can be graphed together to see the relationships. For example, here you can see how the principal, interest, and PMI accumulate over time. The next loan type we will amortize is a fixed-term loan, for example, a car. Select the fixed-term loan type and enter a description. We will use $15,000 for the loan amount, 4% for the interest rate, 60 months as the term, and the first payment a few years ago. You can optionally include any fixed monthly costs in the optional monthly fees value. This could be insurance premiums, for example. I will leave that as 0. Return to the Amortization tab. Select the car scenario. The amortization table and the graph update to show the car payments. The next loan scenario I will demonstrate is an existing mortgage. I will use the same parameters, except I will set the first payment to 5 years ago. Now I will show you how to use the interest-only option. I will duplicate the scenario that I just created and then edit the mortgage loan parameters. I select the mortgage type loan to get the interest-only option and enter a period of 5 years or 60 months into the field. Now I go back to the Amortization tab and select the existing mortgage with interest-only scenario. By looking at the payment column and graphing the values, we see that the payment is $350 for the first 5 years, at which point the monthly payment jumps to $600.75, and the borrower starts paying down the principal balance of the loan. We can use the Comparison tab to see a side-by-side comparison of the loan amortization with and without the interest-only option. We can see the total amount paid over time side by side for these two scenarios. We can see a summary of the two scenarios and the differences right here. Another scenario that may come up is a client who has made curtail payments towards their mortgage and the balance is less than the scheduled amortization. Let's go back to the existing mortgage scenario and edit the loan. The estimated balance is just over $107,000. But let's say the client has made some additional payments along the way and the current balance is now $102,000. AmortPro will calculate the payoff from this point forward based on the input balance amount. The last loan type that I will amortize is a credit card. I will create a new scenario and add a new loan. Select credit card as the loan type. I will set the initial balance as $7,000, a rate of 14%, and set the next payment to be due next month. This calculation assumes that there is not any new purchases made on this card until the balance is fully paid. The minimum monthly payment required on a credit card is the greater amount of the absolute minimum payment and a percentage of the outstanding balance. Press Create. In the summary, you see the remaining interest and the time required to pay off the balance. On the Amortization tab, select the credit card to see the payoff schedule for this loan. I will graph some of the values to see the monthly breakdowns. Thank you for watching this tutorial on using AmortPro to amortize various loan scenarios.